Okay, all right, and go. Hi, my name is Michael, and we are going to be doing our pre-appraised sources of evidence discussion post.
I'm Katura.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
All right. And so the first question that we have is that research the definition of pre-appraised sources of evidence, and what are these types of evidence, or where are these types of evidences located? In short, pre-appraised sources of evidence refer to like the secondary sources of information where research studies have already been critically evaluated and summarized by experts. It's basically like research, secondary, tertiary, like more than just the original research has been done, and it's extra stuff has been determined that what they got is the same result other people have got. So it's separate studies that have been recreated.
Like it.
Yeah. So
I just found the basic definition from the book on page 157, and it says pre-appraised evidence is literature that an author or a group of experts have already reviewed and evaluated the evidence against quality indicators. Which is basically what you said in short.
Yeah, I think that's good. I feel like the pre-appraised sources of evidence, they're good stuff because you can, when you're using it for like research projects, or if you're trying to figure out what the best thing to do depending on what it is you're looking up, you're like, I know for a fact that this is good information, that I can use it, and that I can trust it. I mean, you should still regardless still vet it, even if it is pre-appraised, but
Right.
I think it's good to have a place to go where you're like, oh, okay, this looks good.
Especially like in nursing school, because like a lot of the things that we do are like evidence-based, so like us using it like in our nursing school right now, and then in the future as well, like in our career, we'll still be using the same type of evidence like articles. So I think like a lot of like learning it now will benefit us in the future as well, so we like know what we're looking for and what is, valid.
Yeah, I think that's good. I was reading that some of like the benefits, I mean, besides the obvious benefits of like being trustworthy material, is like you were saying, that it can save a lot of time whenever you're looking for, because if you were to just Google like, I don't know, something random, you'd get everything under the sun from a Reddit post to like an NIH article. And it's like, it'll save you a lot of time if you know where these things are, and you can just go, okay, let's go here. Here's 10 articles that I know for a fact that I can, can contextualize the information that I need.
Right.
Did you guys find places where you can find this kinds of information?
Just like the Cochrane library that we use on Learn Library, and like PubMed, just like stuff that we've been using, all those things on Learn Library.
I always use PubMed. It seems easy for me. I kind of started using that, and then I don't know how to say it. Is it Sinhol?
Sinhol, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All that stuff on the Learn Library is good stuff.
Yeah. I love that they have that for us too, because like, your first instinct is like go on Google and like search everything up, but like having that there, you're like, okay, I need to use this because this is where I'm going to find everything. It might be a little complicated because, it is nice though, because they have like the thing on the left where you can choose like which type of article you want and like what year it was and all that. So that does make it really nice. But yeah, it's better than Google for sure.
And it usually comes with a cite this button, so you don't have to spend time spend time writing 40 names. You're like, oh my gosh. I want to do that.
I know.
I also love the Merck manual. I don't know if you guys have used it.
Yes.
I know Dr. Ray talked about it a lot, and I have it downloaded on my phone, but it's really helpful because, we're in nursing school and everyone is like, oh, so what do you think about this? Or, oh, I have this. I'm like, I'm going to be a nurse, not a doctor. But I just pulled the manual and it tells everything.
What is it called?
It's called Merck manual. It's for it's like a doctor website. But it goes over like the anatomy and physiology. So if you want to know like deep dive on, like Michael was talking about UTIs, they have a whole thing about UTIs.
Is it this one?
Yep, that's the
Yes.
one. I love it. Yeah,
I need to use that. That looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
it
Good
is.
to know. Good to know.
Yeah. And some other ones that I was looking up. There's one called like the Jonah Bridge Institute EBP database, the clinical practice guidelines, the PubMed we just talked about, and something called TRIP, TRIP. I guess it's turning research into practice.
Oh,
So
I haven't heard of that.
I haven't heard of those either, but I figured I would mention them just
Yeah,
because.
nice. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
What
I
was
suppose
it?
researching this kind of makes sense. It is evidence-based practice, so it's like, what are my
Right.
evidence-based sources?
Right. We need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
What was the trip one? Sorry.
It is TRIP, or turning research into practice. Oh yeah, the TRIP medical database.
Yeah, there it is.
You said you haven't used it before?
No, that one I haven't used. It was just something I found while I was researching around. So
Oh, okay.
I haven't been able to vet that one yet, but it's just
Right.
mentioned at least.
Well, the Merck manual also does the citation.
I know, yeah. Good old
Yeah. That's such a huge plus.
for real. Okay. So I guess we'll go on to the next question.
Yeah.
All right, that works. The next question is, now research a topic of interest to the group and look specifically for pre-appraised evidence articles. What topic did you choose? How many were you able to find? And how difficult was it to find these articles? I know for me, I just decided to choose something that's really, you're going to see really commonly, I think, in the hospital, which is UTIs. In fact, my grandma she's had like 3 or 4 of them in the past like 6 months. She's been to the hospital. Obviously, they're not taking care of her, but it's like the article that I chose. Let me pull it up really quick. It's basically on how to like properly diagnose them. Share page. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's from the Journal of Antimicrobial Chemotherapy. It's a British website, obviously. But it's this big old long thing on just like test references for like white blood cells, what you're looking for, what can determine whether it's actually a UTI or if it's going to be like lower or higher up into the kidneys, and just, yeah, it's an obscene amount of information.
Yeah. I love the use of charts.
Yes, charts do make it a lot more easier.
They help with the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Was
Go ahead.
sorry, I don't know. Was your grandma's UTIs related to catheter use?
No, it wasn't related to catheter use. I think it's twofold. I think for her, it's she's not drinking enough water, and I think that they're not bathing her properly. So I think it's twofold.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, you got to drink more water, Grandma.
Yeah.
My grandma never drank water until we got her the little packets of like zero sugar flavoring for her water, and she drinks water all the time now. I know they're not the best, but at least she's getting water.
Well, especially the zero sugar ones, because I drink those too. I mean, I drink a lot of water in general. That's like all I drink. But like sometimes I want a little something. So those are great. So I'm glad that you guys got her on those. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'll have to try that. Maybe that'll work because it's better water than no water.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what because she literally lived off of popping coffee. That's literally, she never drank water.
Gosh.
Oh, no.
Kidney failure. That sounds awful.
And she's diabetic.
Ooh, yeah. Double whammy.
Yeah. All the soda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But going back to the thing, like whenever I was looking up like UTI articles, there were an insane amount of them. I mean, and pre-appraised ones, not just like your Reddit article, but like pre-appraised articles of every different kind, from, like you were saying, specifically catheter-caused UTIs, to regular UTIs, to ones from non-hygiene, just everything on drug-related ones, every kind of UTI.
Yeah.
It was not hard to find them. I'm sure it would be more difficult if you chose like a subject that's new or something that's being researched currently. Then I think it would be kind of hard to find like a pre-appraised research article. But when it
Right.
comes to something that's common, I think it's, it's not too
It's out
difficult.
there, like UTIs are so common in healthcare and just like in general, I feel like. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And I feel like UTIs affect like everybody in the age group. Like,
Right. It's not just like elderly or like younger people. Like it can be like any age group.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I did mine on medication errors in the healthcare setting. Again, like another like broad like topic. I found 7 pre-appraised articles through PubMed and CINAHL and the Cochrane Library. And it included like systematic reviews and critically appraised topics, such as like the causes and like reporting systems and like interventions and how to reduce medication errors. I feel like it wasn't that hard to find, like I said, because it's like a very like common like problem. But like with putting in like certain things in the like terms like medication errors, systematic review, meta-analysis, and like evidence-based prevention helps narrow the research. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, like you were saying, it's probably easier to find things that are like super common, but I think it's so important. There's so many of those articles because it's so important to make sure that medication errors are stopped, and there's all kinds of ways to mitigate it and try and get them down.
Right.
Hopefully, I hope to never do a medication error, at least one that doesn't hurt somebody.
I know. I feel like my life would be over if that ever happened to me. Just like mentally. I couldn't go through that. But I feel like the CINAHL library definitely provided like the most relevant, like nursing focused information compared to the Cochrane library, where it was like more broad of what I was looking for. So that one was definitely a little bit better than the other one, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I just looked up anemia in children because my son is anemic and he's 1.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot, but there was on the nursing and allied health database. I did find a few like specific to pediatric. There was a few on PubMed, but they're kind of outdated.
Yeah.
They're like 2019. But there was a few. There was nothing on the Merck manual for children in general, just anemia, but
Yeah, I wonder if a lot of research studies were stopped during COVID because it feels like there's less to choose from.
Right. Within like the past like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can find a million articles from 1993.
Literally.
Yeah.
I can't use those.
Yeah. Every single time I try and find something, it says like 2014, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, or 2012. For some reason, that is like the one I'm always on.
Like just a couple more years forward. Come on, let's go.
Literally.
Or I've literally found like the perfect article. It's like everything I need. It's everything. And again, 1994. I'm like, word for
why
word.
is no one researching nowadays? Why is no one doing this?
Every time.
Yep, I know.
Oh man. All right. And then the next portion of questions, unless you guys have something else you want to talk about with that stuff, with the question before.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I think, the next part was pretty interesting, the grading systems. There's a couple of them that I was looking at. Did you guys find any?
I just used the grade system, the one that was in the book, the grading of recommendation, assessment, development, and evaluation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
from what I looked up, grade is like the sounds like that's the one most people use.
Right, yeah. Like the most common one out of all of them.
Here's a quick snippet of like I found a couple of them. There's one's called the Oxford Center for Evidence-Based Medicine, or OCEBM. It's a traditional hierarchy of evidence types, often used as a starting point for critical appraisal. I don't know the details of it. I just know that that's what it is. There's another one called the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force. It uses like letter grades to evaluate the strength of evidence. And one called the Scottish, I don't know how to say that word, Intercollegiate Guidelines Network. So, but yeah, it seems like, yeah, I know. That's why I was like, it looks like it says Intercollegiate. I don't know. But it seems like grade is the most popular. That's a good starting point. It sounds like, I was looking it up, randomized controlled trials are typically start as high quality evidence, which I think is good. Because whenever I look at trials that are done, I feel like randomized tends to give you the most unbiased information. Which I think overall is probably good, unless you're trying to test something specific.
Right.
Let's see. There are things called downgrading factors in grade that are factors like methodological limitations, inconsistency between studies, and indirectness of evidence, impression, publication bias. Those things can apparently downgrade the factor. Apparently the grade system provides a transparent framework that just makes it easy to see why they chose to either have it be as high quality, medium quality, or bottom of the barrel, low quality.
I know with the grade system, it talked about the quality rating. It uses like high, moderate, low, and like very low. And it said with a high rating, further research is less likely to be done, and it has a less possibility for bias and addresses like the most important outcomes. And then with the lower rankings, it can indicate a problem with some sort of bias and less important outcomes and like a smaller impact. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the grade system, I feel like it's the most common because I feel like it's like the easiest to like, not like use, but just like, I don't know, when I was like reading it, it like made the most sense to me compared to the other ones that I was seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's overly complicated, then if you have to read like 3 pages to figure out if it's high quality or not, then it's like, is it really doing its job? And can the average person look at it and go, what is this?
Right. That seems like another thing too. Like it seemed like very efficient, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think that's an important part, is like efficiency and usability. I mean, if it's too complicated or if it's too restrictive, then you really can't use it. But if it's effective, and usually the simpler something is, the more effective it is. So
right.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I feel like a lot of this stuff is going to help us a lot in future classes and in future research projects. And who knows, maybe when we all have our doctorates and are researching things, you know, we'll be able to look back and say, hey, you remember when we did that pre-appraised evidence assignment?
I will applaud you on from afar, sir.
Oh, you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it.
I know, but like last semester, Stout, because I don't know if you guys had Stout for community health, but she has her doctorate, and she was always talking about like, or I don't know if it was Stout, I don't know, but someone said like, all I wrote was like papers, and I'm like, I'm good then. I am good. Yeah. Keep me away.
And it's like 50, 60 page papers.
Yeah, it's like 1 to 2, you know, it's like 100.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is interesting because like if you did, because I was thinking about maybe going to nurse practitioner school and like just having resources for patients, because as a mom and taking your kids to the doctor and like just, I mean, I've always trusted science, but with what's going on in the world, like in vaccination, like the fear mongering, all that kind of stuff, you kind of want to go in prepared. You want to know things before. But like, just as a general person, a mom who like uses Google, where do we go for research that's real, that's like trusted, that we can, it's kind of nice being able to be in this position where we're learning easy places to find things that we can share with our patients. I like this part of it.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. I almost forgot about that part, that, half of our job as a nurse is education. And, if we don't know the information, or if we're not up to date on the latest, research, we'll be out half of our job not being able to help our patients. And it helps to be able to point them of like, hey, even if, like, say it was like a subject that came up that we didn't necessarily know about, we could be like, hey, we know that this website here or this place here, this is trustworthy. Anything you look up here, you can take as, as being correct and properly researched. Yeah. And so
we don't
that's
need more Dr. Googles or Facebook know-it-alls or TikTokers telling us that all these things. We need information that people can go get on their own, that they can look up for themselves.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are like, they get suspicious unless they can look at something themselves. So again,
I'm the same way. I get that.
Being able to look it up themselves, it's like, it gives them confidence in what they're reading. It then gives them confidence in us that what we're saying is true. So hopefully you can help mitigate any lies that might be spreading
just stand there and say, like, listen to us. We know what we're talking about.
That never works. That's like your mom saying, why do I have to do this? Because I told you so.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean?
It's like, I know I need more than that. Just like, I'll do it. Just I need more than I told you so.
Right. That is a good point, though. I feel like definitely before nursing school, because I don't have like any like healthcare background. Like Google, like whenever I get like sick or something, like Google was like always my best friend. And like, not even just like being educated enough, but like it freaks you out, like you see the first thing and you're like, oh my gosh, like the worst is going to happen, so like being able to direct them in like the right direction and what they can look for, and like, I feel like that'll help a lot too with like anxiety and like just finding like the right resources.
And also, before I even started school, I didn't know that you could go anywhere but Google. Like, I thought Google was like the internet and like you put everything into it and that's how you get anywhere. I didn't know there was like different search engines or like different things.
I thought it's like a whole new realm. Yeah.
Like, wait, what? I'm a 90s baby, so like we didn't have computers.
Yeah, I think it's good, All right. Is there anything else you guys want to go over or talk about?
I think we hit it all.
Yeah, I feel like we hit every point that we needed to hit.
Let me see anything else.
We have to talk at least for another 20 seconds to hit 30 minutes. Teacher, if you're still here, don't knock us for that extra 12 seconds.
Professor Bigelow.
I know.
You know me, ma'am. Don't knock us for these. She's my clinical instructor in semester 6.
Oh, yeah? That's good.
So we're tight, Amy. So don't knock us for this.
I had her too.
But yeah, no, guys. I think we hit everything. I think we did a really good job with these different questions and just working together.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, guys. You guys were awesome. It's good to work with you.
Yeah, you guys do. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'll upload it tonight. I'll send you guys a link too, because I think only one of us has to upload it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll upload it. I'll write down like a little, I think it said like 6 to 8 sentence thing, just a summary of like basically what we learned.
Oh, yeah.
And then that won't take long, so that'll be easy.
Okay, and if you need help with that, I can do it too if you want, since you're already recording it.
If you want to do it, that's fine. You probably are a better writer than me. So I
highly doubt that.
You're so good.
Highly doubt.
his like 10 resources and all this citation discussion.
Okay, yeah, Michael, you got it. You got it. Funny.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. See you guys later.
All right, bye.
Bye.